right, Joe, May 3rd, 2014, we had Heroes versus Villains here tonight. Our big show of the year, and man, what a big crowd we had here at the arena.
Right you are, PK, and I'll tell you something. Heroes versus Villains, one of the greatest shows I've ever seen here at the OSWA, and the biggest show of 2014 so far.
Dude, I'll tell you something, Joe, no doubt about it. It was by far our biggest crowd, and man, the fans were pumped. We had our pre-show, and even in the pre-show, we had a change of championships. Chives went into the ring with Mr. Hollywood. Mr. Hollywood then tried to buy the 24/7 championship from Chives, with Chives being a man of integrity.
Oh, good gosh, you gotta be kidding me. A man of integrity? He's a 24/7 champion. What does that mean?
Okay, well anyways, Joe, we'll let the judge decide. But anyway, so he refused to sell the belt to Mr. Hollywood, at which point Security Shane then blindsides him, and then he becomes the 24/7 champion, which is great because that belt is so big, he can carry a lot of ham sandwiches on it.
PK, you gotta understand something. Big people have feelings too, PK. So stop making fun of him about eating his ham sandwiches.
Well, Joe, I guess you know you've had a dramatic weight loss, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, will you shut up, PK?
Well, then we had Taco versus who was supposed to be Zach Daniels, but Zach couldn't make it. So we had Jack Striker Daniels, who came out instead. And Joe, I'll tell you something, it was a great match, but once again, Jack Striker, he just can't help himself. He slipped on his own banana peel, and Taco...
Right. He slipped on his own banana peel, and Taco, he sneaked in a win. He got lucky, PK.
What do you mean snuck in a win, Joe? From the top rope, he does his flying chalupa, lands on Jack Striker Daniels for the pin.
Oh yeah, well I'll tell you something. Taco Grande, thank the banana peel, because that was the only way you were going to win, because you were getting pummeled.
Well, Joe, then we had Mystic Storm versus Hollywood for the corporate championship. And Joe, Mr. Hollywood, being the Hollywood elitist that he is, hires a stunt double to do his dirty work.
Yeah, but just like Clint Eastwood, just like all the other great actors, Harrison Ford.
Well,
there's
Joe,
nothing wrong with that.
Well, Joe, then it went back and forth because Hollywood would sneak in, the stunt double would sneak out, and they would go back and forth. So it was like Mystic Storm was constantly fighting a fresh man.
Well, now hold on, ditch diggers, drywallers, and all you people out there that do menial work.
Honest labor for honest pay.
Oh, whatever. Let me tell you something. That was his spin. Hollywood stunt double. He was in there the entire time, but let's face it, Hollywood accidentally hired a man who was underqualified. Well, and he lied on his resume, and that's why he lost.
Joe, nobody will ever accuse you of being the Bill O'Reilly of this show with the no spin zone, I'll tell you that much.
Will you shut up,
But the bottom line is, the stunt double got into the ring after Mystic Storm delivered his Eye of the Storm to Mr. Hollywood. He rolled out while Security Shane distracted the ref. Then the stunt double gets in. He gets hit by a supernova kick by Mystic Storm, who gets the pin 1-2-3, who is now taking the corporate championship to the other side of the galaxy to celebrate with his family.
PK, once again, nobody comes from the other side of the galaxy. Nobody comes from the Milky Way. The only Milky Way out there is the ones you buy at a gas station. Well, let me tell you something. Mystic Storm, enjoy that championship.
On the other side of the galaxy.
Shut up, PK, for the little time that you have it.
Well, then the next match was Jimmy Lee versus Curtis Coleman. This is another one of those matches that's just built up and built up and built up. Jimmy Lee would often come into the ring. He would hit Curtis Coleman with brass knuckles, costing him the match. Well, Joe, this time it was a brass knuckles on a pole match. The first time in the OSWA that we've ever done anything like that.
I tell you, it was quite a great match.
It was, and it had a greater ending.
Oh, no, it didn't.
Well, Joe, let's see what the fans decide. So, Jimmy Lee climbs up the pole. He's able to get the brass knuckles. He goes to hit Curtis Coleman with them. Curtis Coleman does a reversal, gets the brass knuckles from him, knocks out Jimmy Lee, gets the pin 1-2-3 for a victorious win of a long-standing feud.
Well, I think that Curtis Coleman, stay fresh, got lucky, and I think he should thank that security guard. So I think that security guard helped him.
By putting the brass knuckles back up on the pole?
Yeah.
Well, Joe, Jimmy Lee brought the brass knuckles down.
It doesn't matter, PK. He helped him somehow. There's got to be a way that Jimmy Lee lost.
All right, Joe, you are definitely the Dale Gribble of the OSWA.
Oh, shut up, PK.
Dang it, Joe. Well, then we had Disorderly Conduct versus the Tag Team Specialist with Johnny Walker joining them, the Outlaw Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I know. It's like Braveheart and Saturday Night Fever threw up all over the ring.
Well, Joe, it was really interesting because, McFly, he came back from the future to wrestle here again at the O.
He didn't. Nobody comes from the future like nobody comes from Mars or whatever.
Joe, I told you about some of the predictions that he gave.
Yeah, well, that's how I know that it's false, because I'm a winner and I've got more success coming my way.
Well, Joe, that's the mantra that you repeat off that self-help tape, and it's working for you great so far.
Shut up, PK.
Well, then, Joe, anyways, the bottom line is the ring gets cleared out by McFly and by Jake Hughes. All the members of Disorderly Conduct, except for Macaulay, is there. And now it's Macaulay versus the outlaw Johnny Walker. And so what does he do? Macaulay, the Angry Beaver.
He is not the Angry Beaver, PK. Justin Bieber doesn't hold a candle to that good kid.
Well, Joe, he goes and he does a low blow from behind to the outlaw Johnny Walker, and he winds up rolling him up for the pin.
That's right, PK.
And that was a dishonorable win by disorderly conduct.
The point is, a win is a win. Disorderly conduct beat those guys, and it was well deserved. And they are on their way to another championship. Mark my words and set it in stone.
Well, Joe, then the next match was another one that had built up over time. Z versus Vengeance.
More like, yeah, Z versus Vigilante. And I'll tell you something, Vengeance, taking the law into his own hands and having two women back him up to fight his fight for him.
Two women?
Yeah, Jackie, his wife slaps the Z, Monster Z, and then he has Granny, that lady in the audience, slap him. What kind of an honorable victory is that?
Well, Joe, it was a no disqualification match. It was purely within the rules. But Joe, he basically hit Z with his case closed finishing maneuver, and he got the 10 count on Z. It was a last man standing match, and Z didn't get up by the 10th count. As a matter of fact, Vengeance barely got up, and Vengeance needed help getting out of the ring. So, you know what, I'll tell you something. Z may have lost, but Vengeance is definitely going to be feeling it in the morning, and I sure hope he goes to Big Chad's Healing Path Reflexology to get it fixed.
Yeah, good luck with that there, Z.
Well, Joe, maybe you can give him some counsel about when you went there.
That was
Then we had Ninja King versus Wasabi. These guys have been feuding for over a year. And now it came to a head here at Heroes versus Villains. And what was interesting was Shinobi came in and he kicks out the ref because, you know what, he's going to referee this thing. He kicks out all the ninjas, and basically it comes down to, so it's a straight match between the Ninja King and Wasabi. And what a physical match, and what a technical match.
That's right. I'll tell you something, Ninja King, he dominated that match. Those guys went back and forth, but you got to say that Ninja King, he had the upper hand throughout that entire.
Well, Joe, I would say definitely during the middle part, he definitely did, but then all of a sudden, McFly was able to get him into a Snell lock, and he made. I'm sorry.
Get with the game, man. I'm going to dock your pay.
Well, Joe, thank you. So then Wasabi was able to get him into a Snell lock, and the Ninja King actually tapped out. Now, Joe, it's one thing to lose 1, 2, 3, because you can always claim that the ref counted too fast. But when you submit and you tap out, you have no one to blame but yourself.
I still think that Wasabi counted out with his foot earlier in the match. And let's face it, Ninja King walked away. Wasabi had to be carried out.
Well, Joe,
who's the real winner there?
You are definitely right on that point. And, once again, Wasabi got the victory, but the Ninja King, though, I will say this, he did do the traditional honorable thing, and he bowed to Wasabi right there at the end of the match.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, nice love fest.
Well, then we had our main event. Actually, they all seem like main events tonight, but this was the specific main event for the evening. A three-way dance between Rod Bolt, Alex Diamond Decker, and Chad Silva for the Ultimate title.
Once again, Chad Silva, the luckiest man in the OSWA. That's what I have to say. He got lucky. I can't believe he retained his championship against two superb athletes like the two that he faced with Rod Bolt and Alex Diamond Decker.
Well, Joe, I'm surprised you're not calling it a conspiracy because, if Rod Bolt would have pinned Alex Diamond Decker or vice versa, he still would have lost the title.
It doesn't matter.
So weren't the odds against him? Is that a conspiracy?
No, the odds weren't against him. It was a fair match, one against the other one.
Just checking there, Joe. So anyways, but the bottom line is what it came down to. Rod Bolt tapped out when Chad Silva got him in the Anaconda Vice. Totally unexpected. I was surprised that Chad held on to the title, but man, that guy is just a straight fighter, and he always delivers. It was an incredible match by all three guys. I applaud them all, but the Anaconda Vice was just too much for Rod Bolt.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you something. This was an incredible show. A ton of people. Even that punk David Garrison in the audience was making fun of me. I'll tell you something. I'll get back to you, David Garrison.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you something. We got our next show coming up May 17th. We'll be at the Mount Laurel Festival in Clarksville, Georgia. We are kicking off there our Humans to Heroes Anti-Bullying Tour 2014. And then as well, we'll be back here at the O at 7 o'clock for our regular show.
All right, man. I can't wait for that, PK, so I'll tell you something. It's going to be sold out again like it was tonight. And I'll tell you the reason why is because I'm going to be there.
Well, Joe, you seem to have a lot of faith in yourself.
I do have a lot of faith in myself.
Well, Joe, you definitely got the George Michael look going on, so you got to have faith.
Will you shut up, PK? Because I wouldn't want to be your father figure anyway.
Hey, Joe, I wouldn't want to put my tiny hand in yours anyway. So, folks, we'll see you in 2 weeks.